psychotherapist here with us today. Hey Hans, how you doing?
Very well, Harry. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. What are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about the languages of love, or as some people call them, love language. It actually comes from a guy called Gary Chapman, and he came up with 5 love languages. But actually there are a few more.
Okay, 5 love languages, but there are a couple more you're saying. So what are the initial 5?
Well, first I need to explain, I guess, is that the love language is you do something for your partner, right?
Yeah.
And that communicates love. So some things communicate love to your partner, some things don't. You see?
Okay.
And so, because I often hear people complain, look, I'm doing this, and my partner still doesn't feel loved.
Right.
And so sometimes you're aiming to love someone, but you're actually just missing the mark. And so the idea of love language is that for some people, if you do lots of things for them, they really feel loved by you. But others, if you do lots of things for them, like service, they actually don't feel loved, because what they really need is lots of affection.
Right.
So they like being cuddled and touched and kissed and that sort of thing.
Joe and Scotty have accused me of being quite feely touchy. They've had their feely touchy privileges revoked from me.
So that's your love language, is it, Harry?
Well, apparently, we've just exposed one.
Other people like receiving gifts. And so if you go out of your way to give them a gift, so if you give them, say, flowers or chocolates, or, even for men, maybe you buy them something, they feel really loved by gifts. Right. Other people, if you buy them the gifts, they actually don't know what to do with the gift. This is not what I really want from you, is quality time.
Ah, okay.
See? And so some people need quality time, so they want to be sort of spend time together, do the eyeballing thing, take me out somewhere, and that's when I feel loved. If you give me a gift, it doesn't really. So there's 5 of them basically.
There's 5 of them. So let's just recap on them. There's physical touch.
Yes.
There's that's my one, so it comes out first, obviously. So then there's gift giving. There's quality time.
Yes.
There's acts of service.
Yes.
And what was the other one?
The last one, I guess, on your list is affirmation.
Affirmation, right.
Yes. Affirmation is continually telling the person that they're good, they're wonderful, they're lovely, really appreciate the things you do. So lots of compliments, lots of things that make them feel good. So words of encouragement.
Right. So
and they really need that. Yep.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is that sometimes in a relationship, your love language can be one particular swing, but your partner's can be another one.
That's exactly right. And what often happens is that if you believe that if your love language is someone doing things for you, then often automatically you will think that if I do things for the other person, that's their love language too, you see, because that's the way you feel loved.
Yeah.
But the other person might actually prefer to have affirmation, you see. And so you're doing things for them, but they don't feel loved by you. What they really want is, say, some quality time and affirmation, you see.
Yeah, okay.
So sometimes it's good for couples to talk to each other and work out the love language.
Absolutely. Now, so you're saying communication is probably the biggest thing here.
Yep. And I guess trying to take hold of those 5 things, or talk about love language, does help actually with some couples. And it's amazing how many people know about the 5 love languages.
Yeah. Okay.
From this guy called Gary Chapman. But I've actually come across people who had other love languages. I remember one guy said, look, when my wife dresses up well, puts some makeup on and looks good, that's when I feel really love her. Or for some people, the fact that the other person is a good dad or a good mum, that really communicates love, because they love the children, you see.
Right.
So that can also be, for some people, a love language. For some, it could be cooking a great meal. See, in the old days, they used to say, a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. I don't know if you heard that one before.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, that works with me too.
There you go. That could also be a love language. So just to restrict it to the 5 may be a little bit too much, because you can actually expand them out.
Yeah, so really, the biggest thing is about thinking about what the other person wants and then feeling that need for them.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Really looking forward to we're going to chat a little bit more about that after this.
Yep,
we're going to go to the song, and you're listening to Ultra 1065. We're talking to the Hands. Serious? Oh, it's cut us out. That's annoying. Sorry.
We gotta do it again?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I thought we were under time.
We can do it again.
1065. I've got Hans Kelder here in the studio. We're talking love languages. Hans, run me over. What are they? What are they again? What are the 5 love languages?
Oh, yeah, these are the Gary Chapman ones. Yeah. So words of affirmation.
Yep.
And then there's acts of service,
Yes.
gift giving, quality time, and physical touch.
Rightio.
So they're the 5 main ones.
I'm sure our listeners at home are going, oh, which one am I? What do I love? I'm sitting here going, yeah, I really like a good cuddle, but I also like, you know, if someone wants to give me any gifts, feel free to drop them off to the studio. We're above Dome in the mall. You know,
and affirmation, you're doing a great job here,
I
Harry.
really appreciate that. Thanks very much,
That's
Hans.
fine.
You know, all those things. Acts of service. You know, if someone wants to come and, you know, mow my lawns for me, I will be very happy to receive that. You know?
So a whole handful of love languages you can handle.
Yeah, I'm all about the love. More love for me. I don't know if that's the real way that I should be thinking about love.
No, that's good actually, because I would say that most people probably would like all 5 at some point. It's just some are a little bit more poignant, more effective for the other person than, say, another. So that's really what it's about.
Yeah, okay.
And I would say that most people would say, yeah, look, I'd appreciate all 5, but some speak a little bit more than others. They feel it more when that particular kind of love is expressed.
Yeah, so it's about finding that for your partner,
Yes.
finding out what their love language is,
Yes.
and then, you know, filling that need, getting there and, you know, doing whatever they really feel loved
Yes.
for you doing.
Yeah, and when you give them that, they'll actually feel good within
Right.
themselves, and they'll feel good about you.
Yeah.
And so it does. It creates connection, really.
Yeah,
which
beautiful.
is what you want in love languages. So we're sort of talking about a few more because I've come across a few more, and I think the last one I mentioned was so sometimes people really appreciate it when their partners play their roles well, say as a mother or a father.
Yeah.
And so some women really appreciate it if you know, if their husband or their partner is really good with the kids, you know, connects with the kids, takes the kids out, and that for them can also be quite a strong love language.
Yeah.
Some people like it when their partner has a status. You know, they're very good in their careers, so they're a good
Like-
businessman, a good tradesman,
Like a
or-
relationship psychotherapist on the radio.
yeah, they really appreciate the fact that their partner is successful. So that really speaks to them and makes them feel confident and secure. Some people like it when they can have good discussions, like in-depth discussions with their partner. So when they do have this quality time, that there's good conversation around all sorts of topics and a whole wide variety of things that they can talk about. And because they talk a lot about a wide variety of things, they really feel connected at that point. So they might, the love language there might be the person's mind and sort of exploring the mind and discovering each other, exploring each other. So that can also be somewhat of a love language when someone's really showing keen interest in the other person.
Yeah,
And then they feel love because, you know, they feel like they're important or they're valued in that way.
So tell me, Hans, what's the best way to find out your partner's love language?
Ask them.
Right on. Simple as that.
Yeah, you can ask them. Or you can say, look, these are the love language. Which one do you think you fit in? I think sometimes couples have actually written them down and actually discussed the love languages and say, look, I want to really show love to you. What's the best way for me to show that love to you? And often people can actually work that out. So
Wow. Yeah, that's great. Hey, we're chatting with Hans Kelder, relationship psychotherapist. You're listening to